Hi guys, welcome back. Another edition of Football Heaven 24/7. Just continuing on from celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Premier League. We've got up to season 2006-07. The last two seasons have been dominated by Chelsea. Obviously, the money from Abramovich, the Russian billionaire, has changed Chelsea's fortunes. They won the first title in 50 years, the first Premier League title that they've ever won in 2004-05 season. They backed it up in 5-6, both under the tutelage of the now really famous Jose Mourinho. Obviously, Jose Mourinho is the most successful manager of the modern day era. I believe he's won something crazy like 29 trophies. He was the last manager to win trophies for Manchester United in the 2016-17 season. Since then, Manchester United have not won a single thing. So, despite all the things that people say about Mourinho, he's had some little bad spells at Spurs and different places. I feel he didn't get the backing and the support that he needed with the right kind of players when he was at different teams. The season when he did not so great at Chelsea when they finished 10th, I think there was a lot of stuff going on in the background that he wasn't happy about. That didn't get sorted out quick enough. So he's a fantastic manager. He is the most successful manager of the modern day era. Obviously, over the Premier League era, it's obviously Arsene Wenger but ultimately Alex Ferguson, who is the most successful managers. But anyway, we're going to go into the 2006-07 season. And finally, Manchester United, after some rebuilding over the last few seasons, they end up taking the title off Chelsea. Chelsea finished second to Manchester United. Manchester United finish at the top in the 2006-07 season with 89 points. Chelsea finished second with 83 points. Liverpool finished third with 68 points, and Arsenal finish in fourth with 68 points. Now, obviously, Manchester United finished 6 points clear this season. The biggest transfer of the season is yet again at Chelsea. It's £30 million to AC Milan to get Andrei Shevchenko to come to Chelsea. The biggest win of the season is surprisingly the newly promoted Reading, who wins 6-0 against West Ham United even. Longest winning run, no surprises. Chelsea with 9 games unbeaten, 9 games winning, sorry. Longest unbeaten run is Chelsea again with 14. Longest losing run is Wigan Athletic with 8 games. And the highest attendance, obviously, Manchester United game against Blackburn, 76,098. Lowest attendance is Watford v Blackburn, and that's 13,760. The average attendance for that season is 34,402. Um, goal scorer for the 2006-07 campaign was Didier Drogba with 20 goals for Chelsea. And in second place, Benny McCarthy with 18 for Blackburn Rovers. And in third place, you've got Cristiano Ronaldo with 17. Equal fourth place was Wayne Rooney and Mark Viduka with 14 goals apiece. So 931 goals were scored that season in 380 games. That was an average of 2.45 goals per game. And in the team of the season, and Edwin van der Sar, the goalkeeper for Manchester United, was in the team of the season. The back four was all Manchester United, believe it or not. Gary Neville, Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand, and Patrice Evra. Probably one of the best back lines Manchester United's ever had in their history. In the midfield, Cristiano Ronaldo, Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes, and Ryan Giggs. And then in the team of the season up front was Dimitar Berbatov for Tottenham Hotspurs and Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba, I get. I don't know why Dimitar Berbatov, because I can't see him in the top six goal scorers for that season. But maybe his contribution and assists and things like that for Spurs. So, and the way that he helped Spurs. Well, they got Spurs finished fifth that season in the 2006-07. So, other things of note from the 2006-07 season. As I say, Reading had a fantastic season after getting promoted from the Championship. They finished eighth. Bolton Wanderers also had a great season, getting into Europe, finishing seventh. So Sam Allardyce doing some great work for Bolton. Manchester United, as I say, ultimately won the Premier League title, and Chelsea finished in second. So Manchester United now have the upper hand. The PFA Player of the Year for that season was Cristiano Ronaldo of Manchester United. The PFA Young Player of the Year was Cristiano Ronaldo again. The goal of the season was Wayne Rooney's goal against Manchester United versus Bolton. So, yeah, so Manchester United stopped Chelsea from making it a hat trick of Premiership consecutive wins, titles even. And yeah, so Manchester United back in control again. The longest winless run of the season for that season was 11 games from Aston Villa, Watford, and West Ham, respectively. So we're going to go into the 2007 and 8 campaign now. And yet again, Manchester United dominated this campaign, and they won. Well, I say dominated. They only won the league by 2 points this season, finishing with 87 points. Chelsea finished in second with 85. Arsenal were in third with 83, and Liverpool were in fourth with 76. So you can see from the top there, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Arsenal in the 2007-8 season ran each other very, very close. There was only a matter of 4 points between the three of them at the end of the season. Cristiano Ronaldo had his greatest season for Manchester United, scoring 31 goals. He was the top goal scorer in the Premier League that year. Manchester United won the Premier League and the Champions League double, so they got that in. They had the highest attendance yet again, obviously 76,013 versus West Ham. Lowest attendance was Wigan against Middlesbrough. That was 14,007. Average attendance was an increase on the last few number of seasons. The highest average so far that I've seen, 36,076 that season in the 2007-8. The biggest transfer paid was from Liverpool to Atletico Madrid, 20 million for Fernando Torres, who we know would go on to become a really good striker for Liverpool that season. In fact, Fernando Torres finished second, equal second with Emmanuel Adebayor. That season with 24 goals each. So, yeah, great season, breakthrough season for Fernando Torres playing for Liverpool. The biggest win of the season was Middlesbrough smashing Manchester City 8-1. It's hard to believe now that Middlesbrough would ever smash Manchester City 8-1, but that season Middlesbrough finished 13th and Manchester City finished 9th. So Manchester City had not a bad season that year, but they were still up and coming. And I believe at that time they had just been taken over by the Saudi Arabian consortium, which would obviously later go on to make Manchester City currently the most successful team of the last, I would say, 10 years. So, and of Premier League being the year now 2022. So, looking at the team of the season, because I'm having a bit of a ramble there. Team of the season was David James for Portsmouth in goal. At the back four was Bakary Sagna of Arsenal, Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand, the same as last season for Manchester United, and Gael Clichy of Arsenal. In the midfield, Cristiano Ronaldo again, as the same of last season. Steven Gerrard was in there, Cesc Fabregas and Ashley Young. And then up front was Emmanuel Adebayor and Fernando Torres. PFA Player of the Year, again, was Cristiano Ronaldo. Young Player of the Year was a new one. It was Cesc Fabregas of Arsenal. And the goal of the season was Emmanuel Adebayor's goal for Arsenal at Tottenham. So good season. Manchester United again have won the title. That's their second title on the bounce so far, having won the 2006 7-1. Longest winning run was held by Manchester United with 8 games. Longest winless run was Derby County, who had the worst season of any Premiership team ever. They finished with only 11 points. They had 1 win all season, drew 8 and lost 29, which is pretty pathetic, to be honest. They had a minus 69 goal difference. So, yeah, the worst Premier League season ever for a team. So, and that's still to be beaten. So, hopefully nobody gets that bad again, but we'll have to see. Longest losing run was Reading and Wigan this season with 8 games each, respectively. And as I say, I've done all the attendances and stuff like that. In the season, there was a hell of a lot of goals. It popped over the 1,000 mark. There was 1,002 goals in the 2007-8 season in 380 games. That was an average of 2.64 goals per game in that season. So that's the review of the 2007-8. I'm going to do another pop over to another season because it's quite historic, really. Something that's not been done by any Premier League side apart from Manchester United is to win the Premier League title 3 times in a row. Manchester City have yet to do it. They've won it a couple of times back to back, but they've never done it 3 times in a row. They're going for it this season, obviously, being the 22-23 season coming up. But back in 2008-9 season, Manchester United completed their 3rd consecutive title in a row. They finished top with 90 points. This time, Liverpool was close challenging them with 86 points, thanks to the goals of Fernando Torres, the new signing they got from the season before. Chelsea finished in third with 83 points. Arsenal finished fourth with 72. Top goal scorer was Nicolas Anelka, now playing at Chelsea, having played at Arsenal previously. He had 19 goals. Cristiano Ronaldo finished second with 18, a little bit down from the previous season when he had 31. And Steven Gerrard was third top scorer with 16. So Steven Gerrard had an outstanding season in the Premier League. Liverpool only finishing 4 points behind Manchester United in that second place. Teams to get relegated that season. Massive surprise, Newcastle went down. Middlesbrough and West Bromwich Albion went down with them as well. Newcastle, they were managed, Michael Owen had quite a few injuries that season, and they were managed by Alan Shearer towards the end, but it wasn't enough. The damage had already been done, and Newcastle went down into the Championship in the 2008-9 season. So, yeah, the biggest transfer of that season was Robinho coming from Real Madrid to Manchester City. Manchester City starting to flex their financial muscle now with the Saudi Arabian consortium fully in charge. They spent 32.5 million on Robinho to get to Manchester City. The biggest win of the season was Manchester City beating Portsmouth 6-0. And then you had the longest winning run was by Manchester United with 11 games. Longest winless run was 14 games from Middlesbrough. Longest losing run was 6 games from Blackburn and Hull, respectively. Highest attendance, again, obviously Manchester United, they've got the biggest ground, as we know, 75,569 in their game versus Liverpool in what's arguably the biggest game of the season, well, the Premier League calendar, should I say. Lowest attendance was 14,169 at Wigan versus West Ham. The average attendance was yet again up from the previous season, 35,650. There was 942 goals scored in 380 games, and that was an average of 2.48 goals, which I believe was almost similar to last season. So the previous season. Ryan Giggs got the PFA Player of the Year this season in 2008-9. Ashley Young finished as the Young Player of the Year at Aston Villa, where he's actually at now, but he doesn't play much now, all these years later. Goal of the season was Glenn Johnson's goal for Portsmouth versus Hull City. In the team of the season, Van der Sar was again put into the team of the season as the Manchester United goalkeeper. Glenn Johnson of Chelsea, Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand yet again were in there, and Patrice Evra. That famous backline for Manchester United that allowed them to get 3 titles on the bounce. Cristiano Ronaldo was again in the midfield in the team of the season, and Steven Gerrard was again in there as well, and Ryan Giggs again. Ashley Young was a new recruit to the team of the season. Nicolas Anelka and Fernando Torres finished up front for Chelsea and Liverpool, respectively, as the best strikers of that season. So anyway, a great season there. I've done 3 seasons. Unfortunately, we've been covering it on Manchester United winning 3 titles on the bounce. But whatever you think about Manchester United, even though they're not a great side now, back then they were fantastic. And if you think that before that, Chelsea had won a couple of seasons on the bounce, they came back with dominance, with such mental toughness to be able to produce 3 wins on the bounce in the Premier League, 3 title wins on the bounce, which has never been done before. By the way, the longest unbeaten run of that season was 21 games from Arsenal. So that's my review of the 2006-7, 7-8, and 2008-9 season. Thank you for following me. Continue to like and subscribe. Obviously, I'm going to do more tributes, more reviews for this celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Premier League. Have a great week. All the best.